We now carve a path to Portugal, where the Lusitano horse remains an enduring national symbol and classical equitation is formally recognised as intangible cultural heritage, endorsing not just the art of riding, but also traditional costume and saddlery. Here, on the outskirts of Lisbon, these continue to be handcrafted by local artisans, who, with the help of the Portuguese School of Equestrian Arts, one of the world's most famous riding academies, are ensuring the country's rich equestrian past is preserved.
The Portuguese horse is considered to be the oldest saddle horse in the world. It represents the nobility of the Portuguese people. Because the Lusitano has such a strong tradition, I believe it's very important to keep the craftsmen, the ones that do the saddles and the bridles and all that, and also the people that work with the costumes, because you can't find the same quality when you are a rider. You want to trust on the equipment.
When it comes to quality saddlery, one family name stands out: Viterino. Renowned as crafters of the finest handmade saddles in Portugal, their work dates back to the 1920s, when Viterino de Sousa Mendes himself began creating unique harness-making tools, still used today by his grandson, José.
Tenho 88 anos.
I am 88 years old and I come from a long line of craftsmen. My grandfather was a craftsman, my great-grandfather was a craftsman, and my father too.
Meu avô também era correeiro, meu pai também era correeiro. A diferença de arreio feito à mão para arreio.
What's the difference between a handmade saddle and an industrialized saddle? Beauty. Its beauty is different, and so is its comfort. They can't make a machine-made saddle that provides the same comfort as a handmade saddle does. And there aren't many people that make the saddles and bridles by hand anymore. All these bridles that you see here are made by me, hand-sewn. Everything handmade, and you can tell just by looking at the seams.
Tem uma beleza diferente de uma costura feita à máquina. Fui contactar a escola portuguesa.
I contacted the Portuguese School of Art and proposed to Dr. Felipe and Dr. Borba that I build their harnesses exclusive to them. English bridles are very different from Portuguese bridles. Portugal's bridle is very specific. It has the noseband attached to the cheek pads, and when we made harnesses for the school, the difference was that they were made with alpaca hardware. We didn't do that for anyone else. The advantage of using alpaca was that when it came to the curbs and the bits, you had a better connection with the horse. Saddlery is a very technical craft, and it must be done by a real specialist. And that was what my father and my grandfather had done. My mission was to keep things running, and so far, we've managed to do that. The business is still going strong, and our creations are out there, scattered all over the world.
Another local who takes pride in his art and hopes to prevent it from becoming a dying trade is Ataíde Neves, a leather crafter who trained at the general workshops of equipment and uniform from the age of 16.
It's a real shame that there aren't people wanting to learn this trade anymore. It's a pleasure for me to make the relvas saddle, the Portuguese saddle, and everything involved with Portuguese tack. I really am very happy making it. I would say that Portuguese saddles are some of the most difficult to make of all the equestrian related items, and sadly, I believe that the art of hand-making tack is not evolving. It's a dying trade, very hard to find, because nowadays people are so used to machinery. There are machines that make almost everything related to the tack, and Portuguese riders today don't give much value to artisan work.
Os cavaleiros atuais não dão muito valor às coisas feitas artesanais. É assim, não há ninguém
Unfortunately, there is no one to continue my work, but it is my desire, and I will achieve it, to set up a training school.
Conseguir uma escola de formação
So that someday more people will be skilled in this beautiful trade.
com esta profissão que é muito bonita.
Traditional Portuguese riding costume is still worn today by people of all ages, from tiny children to elderly horsemen and women, and is considered a living statement of identity, continuity and pride.
The traditional Portuguese costume comes from a different period of time than the one we are now. The male costume can be placed around the 17th century. The male jacket was like a frock that the tail was cut on the waist, a little bit shorter on the back, so it wouldn't get in the way of the person that was riding. You have a black sash. You don't really see that anymore. It's the older people, they wear that because it's really traditional. The female costume is a totally different thing. So we have the true Amazona costume that is like the one that our Queen Amelia wore. She was from the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, and the fashion on that period of time was the silhouette of the woman was like an hourglass, broad shoulders, the puffed sleeves, and then you have a little tiny waist, and then the skirt. Starting in the 1930s, women started to ride astride, so they adapted the skirt. The skirt has a slit. It's not a very wide skirt because it doesn't have to cover both legs for one side, but is a slit skirt, so it hides the trousers. So there are lots of details if you want to really dress traditional Portuguese. Back in the 21st century, with working equitation, the silhouette still gets to be the same. You have the hat and you have the shoulders of the jacket. And if you have a little bit of color, it's okay.
Ricard Pinto Rafael is the owner of the Mari Alfaiate tailor shop, which has been making Portuguese riding costumes for more than 50 years. Having taken over the business from his father, he's staying true to his roots, whilst also finding ways to conjure up new interest in his art.
I would say that 90% of my work is traditional, but there are always customers who want to change the coat in some way. The base is always the same, but you can add some more applications here and there, change the buttons, for example, and embellish it a little more, so to speak. But the traditional wear is always the same in terms of colour. Everything needs to be black, blue, brown, grey, the original colours. Everything is done here by hand. There is no need for industrialisation of the house at this point, and I don't want to change. Which is why I'm already working with and teaching my daughter the skills she needs so she can take over when I retire, and the business can be kept in the family.
Riding displays at the Portuguese School of Equestrian Art showcase the handiwork of many of the long-standing local craftsmen, giving spectators the chance to revel in the country's heritage and celebrate courtly times.
The Portuguese School of Equestrian Art was created in 1979 with the idea of the recreation of the royal riding hall of the Portuguese court of the 18th century. And so it's our responsibility and our goal is to maintain this kind of equitation along with costumes and saddles that we use, and with our typical way of riding, with our horse, the Lusitano, that exists for many centuries here in Portugal.
In this world that we live in now, there is still a big demand on costume and craft. There are many people from all over the world that they like the Lusitano horse, they like our tradition, they like the way it feels. When you are on horseback, you stand tall, right? You feel empowered. So if you have a costume that fits you, it helps to give you that sense of empowerment, and it makes you feel proud.